Good evening. Welcome to Oakland Language Academy's virtual curriculum night. This is Annabelle Gonzalez, the middle school facilitator, and I'm here to share with you a few middle school updates. Some of our teachers have contributed to this presentation in order for you to be updated on what's going on in your students' middle school classes. Ms. Shelley Lytle has shared that in her 6th grade language arts classes, students are going to continue studying about Greek mythology. On Tuesday, they're going to start working on their monologue projects, which will be due on Thursday, March 1st. Students will be researching an ancient Greek god or goddess of their choosing, and they're going to be writing a first-person monologue or speech about them. On Thursday, students will be performing these monologues in full character. This is a formal assignment, so please encourage your student to practice performing this monologue as much as possible at home. In the coming weeks, they'll be starting a poetry unit, and they will dive into the world of figurative language. Students will also be writing their own original poetry. Ms. Lytle would like to thank you for your support of their students at home. Next, we're going to talk about English language arts in 7th and 8th grade. We are just closing Black History Month. And in 7th and 8th grade, Miss Jarrett is currently doing things to honor Blacks and Africans around the world. They are doing some creative things to honor them. For example, 8th grade will do an arts show with their poetry slam this year. Please look for an invitation that will be coming to you soon. 7th grade is going to be doing some research on activists and heroes and voice their ideas creatively on current issues they feel need to be resolved. They are working on their poetry unit during the next few weeks, and students will be using this unit to express themselves by focusing on certain themes, such as hope, courage, love, strength, etc. They are success-focused, and they'll be working on things to help make them successful in school and in life in general. They'll be starting this task with goal setting. Please feel free to discuss having goals and setting goals with your child. And there'll be an upcoming bulletin board here at the middle school that students are going to be sharing some of these goals. Next, we're going to talk about Spanish. In Spanish, Mr. Morrison, with his 6th grade, they're learning to describe and detail geographical features and countries and regions of Spanish-speaking countries. He's going to be describing in detail the climate of the countries, the regions. For this purpose, scholars are researching and will be making a presentation on February 26th through the 28th, and also on March 1st and 2nd. Furthermore, they're learning to explain the use of the verbs ser and estar in present tense, to properly divide these words by syllables and to properly use the accent marks. Scholars in 7th grade are learning about historical figures related to the conquest of Mexico. They'll begin to study the modern historical figures of Spanish-speaking world and how to express the concept of national and personal heroes. Furthermore, they're also using the verbs ser and estar in the present and past tenses to properly divide words by syllables and to properly use accent marks. Lastly, we have 8th grade in Spanish 2. Scholars are exploring different styles of music, dance, and history of theater in the Spanish-speaking world. They'll be presenting their research findings in class on February 26th and the 28th. And then Spanish 3, which is also 8th grade, they are learning to discuss and ask for advice. So they're also summarizing conversations, determining problems and solutions of relationships, and so on and so forth. Also including apologies, how to explain themselves to someone, how to discuss their family tree. And next we have a slide with what he's covering in Spanish. Los estudiantes están aprendiendo a describir en detalle los relieves geográficos de las regiones y de los países hispanohablantes, a describir en detalle el clima de los países y regiones hispanohablantes. Para este propósito, los estudiantes estarán investigando y presentando los resultados el día 26 al 28 de febrero y los días 1 y 2 de marzo. Más aún, están aprendiendo a explicar y a usar los verbos ser y estar en el presente, a dividir las palabras por sílabas y usar los acentos correctamente. Igual lo están haciendo en el español 1B de séptimo grado. Los estudiantes están aprendiendo sobre figuras históricas relacionadas con la conquista de México. Empezaremos a estudiar las figuras históricas modernas de los países hispanohablantes y cómo expresar el concepto de héroes nacionales y personales. El español 2 de octavo grado, los estudiantes están explorando los diferentes estilos de música, bailes, historia del teatro en el mundo hispanohablante. En adición, estarán presentando los resultados los días 26 y 28 de febrero. Y por último, español 2 de octavo grado, los estudiantes están aprendiendo cómo conversar en relaciones, cómo pedir o ofrecer consejo, cómo pedir disculpa, cómo expresar sentimientos, en fin. Cómo discutir también su árbol genealógico y cómo usar la forma pretérita. Okay. Next, we have Mr. Denman, who's a 6th grade science teacher. Mr. Denman is mentioning here, he shared that students are currently working on Earth systems and processes. Eunice goes into detail into the layers of the Earth and also concepts such as plate tectonics, earthquakes, volcanoes, soil, and stewardships of the lithosphere. All of the assignments can be found in Canvas, and they are online. After this unit, they're going to move into life sciences. Please feel free to contact him at any time if you have questions or concerns. And I also want to add that because earthquakes, volcanoes, and other topics, can be found on the news, please encourage your child to talk about what he's learned, especially if you can discuss perhaps a news story that relates to this. Mr. Denman is also our band teacher. So he shares with band families that they are going full steam ahead for our coming performances. 7th grade is going to perform at the Multicultural Fair, which takes place on Saturday, March 24th at 10:30 a.m. Their spring concert will be held on Thursday, April 26th at 6 p.m. And he also wants you to know to please remember that students need to always bring their instrument and materials on band days. If your student has not purchased the book for band, please do so, and it is entitled Essential Elements Book 1. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Mr. Denman. Ms. Hall is our 7th and 8th grade science teacher, and she wants parents to know that students have started studying life sciences. They're currently learning about protists and will soon move on to plant and animal cells. Both of these topics require learning much new vocabulary. Please encourage your child to utilize both Quizalize and Quizlet in aid in studying. They can also create their own Quizlets, as well as use some others that they may be found online. But vocabulary is really essential in them comprehending the material, especially with science words that are so technical. Students in 8th grade are finishing up studying Earth systems and processes, specifically concentrating on fossils and relative and absolute dating. Next, they will begin the life science unit, and they will learn about life sciences over the next several months. The first topic is going to be evolution and genetic variation. 8th grade students have weekly EOG review homework to start preparing for the end of grade test that will be here before we know it. So they are also encouraged to use Quizlet and Quizalize to study vocabulary. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We have other teachers that have shared screencasts here on our virtual curriculum night. If you have any questions for any of the teachers that have shared in this presentation or any of the other presentations you have viewed, or perhaps a teacher that may not have shared any information tonight, but you have a question, please do not hesitate to call our school. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening.